that all of you are doing great. Well, this is one of the most bullish news for the Bitcoin long term, as this BlackRock, the institute that actually manages $10 trillion worth of asset, it has launched the Spot Bitcoin Private Trust for the US clients. So basically, here we are talking about, this is like ETF. You might have heard about the Spot ETF, right? But the Spot ETF was not approved by the SEC. It was only the futures ETF. We are saying that hundreds of billions of dollars will be coming into the Bitcoin if the Spot ETF is approved. But here, so far the Spot ETF hasn't been approved, but the BlackRock has actually launched the private trust Spot, like for the US clients. So basically institutional clients, and this is for the institutional clients only, not for the retail clients. With an institution that manages as big as $10 trillion worth of asset, launching a specific trust for the asset Bitcoin, that is one of the biggest news for an asset like a Bitcoin. This is like a validation for all the other institutions. So we need to be understanding how bullish this is. Now, this is not just the general perception of us that, okay, this is the bullish news. The other institutions as well, like the Grayscale, we are going to show you what the CEO said. Meanwhile, the BlackRock, as it manages $10 trillion worth of asset, 5 years back, the BlackRock CEO himself said that Bitcoin is like a money laundering scheme, or probably an index of money laundering. This is how they degraded the Bitcoin. And now, not just their perspective is changed, they have partnered with the Coinbase. They have launched the private trust for the Bitcoin. How often it has happened in the history? I mean, I believe probably even for the internet, early internet, 1994, a lot of people were saying, okay, this is just like any other thing. It is going to go away. But then 6 years, 7 years, 10 years later, all those people who were skeptical about it started getting into the internet. Why? Because that was the future. So this is one of the biggest validation out there for the Bitcoin, and one of the most bullish news. I'm going to tell you regarding the price perspective, but as the base of it, this is something that is worth discussing about. Now, the CEO of Grayscale also like a investment firm, like it manages funds and stuff regarding the investment, and it's a big name out there in the world. The CEO, Barry Silbert, said, here comes the Wall Street. And they also said, like, not just the news itself, but that it is the signal to some that the water is fine, and to others that if they don't offer their clients Bitcoin, they will get their lunch ate. Now, this is not coming from a random analysis. This is coming from the CEO of like the name as big as Grayscale, which basically does the same thing as itself. This is what they do: manage the fund, see where the investment is supposed to happen. That's what they're saying, that this is not just a validation for a lot of people who are skeptical about it, that institute as big as BlackRock is forming a trust, but this is also a catalyst for the FOMO of the other clients of the other institute, that hey, they are offering Bitcoin, are you going to not offer it? Everyone has to FOMO, whether you like it or not. You cannot ignore it. Something like this is happening now. To understand this Spot ETF, like this Spot Private Trust, only the US institutional investors have access to the funds, as it intends to track the performance of the Bitcoin, deducting the expenses and liabilities of the trust. Now, private investment trusts that do not endorse investment from the retail investors are not required to register with the regulatory authorities of United States. So that is the reason probably it does not need the approval of SEC, just the way the ETF, Grayscale's ETF used to be, because it will not be accepting from the retail investors. It will be the institutional investors that will be on the stake. Now, this is what we believe. This is going to be one of the big catalysts, because this news itself, like an institute that manages $10 trillion worth of asset, definitely big money will be coming into the Bitcoin in the future. And because it is a spot one, definitely it is going to drive the price crazy. with the bull run, like literally all that is possible, that we are talking hundreds of thousands of dollar Bitcoin, or probably even $500,000 Bitcoin, or even more. But apart from that, this is forming a base, like the big name has come and adopted it. What is going to happen in the future? A lot of other people, other institutions that were skeptical about the thing, that were thinking maybe not, or probably it's not politically correct to get into something which there are like extreme opinions, or probably do not expose your client's money to something as volatile as Bitcoin. But hey, the client itself is going to be demanding in the future. Why? Because the same happened with the BlackRock. And then if it is happening with the BlackRock, an institute as big as BlackRock is taking the risk to get into this thing and getting all in. Like this is like a getting all in. This is not just testing the water, forming the trust and stuff. I mean, a lot of similar institutes that probably we do not even know the name of are going to come. So these are the things that we need to be understanding, that these are the fundamental of an asset, the ground realities of an asset. Now, currently we are surrounded by all the negativities around, all the negative news, the inflation, the war, the Fed increasing the basis points, you have a stock market crash. I mean, everything bad that could have happened has already happened and probably is continuing to happen in a macro environment. But even in those times, we are talking, like as I covered in the last video, $30 billion raised in the crypto. That is more than the entire 2021. Like in 2022 first half itself, more money is raised than the entire last year bull run 2021. Big institution BlackRock that we just talked about, the spot ETF, and the spot private trust being launched and stuff. So these are the ground validation that this is what is happening in the background. So what we are waiting for, that once the macroeconomic condition gets better, once the stock market recovers, once the next halving occurs, once everything, the dust settles down, once the news becomes bullish, obviously the bad times don't last, the good times don't last. Everything, it is cyclical. Once the cycle gets up, we are expecting a massive surge. So this should be giving you, this should be a hint to all the people that do not be left out. I'm not saying just go and directly buy. Yes, you can micro trade it when you're seeing the price action, like at a high RSI level, probably you can sell it and then buy back at a low RSI level. But do not stay out of the game. You have to jump into the game. If you have made the mistake sometimes of probably selling at the bottom, take the first loss and get in. Or probably even let's say at the top you were about to sell and then you made the mistake. Take the loss at the first mistake and then rectify those mistakes. Bitcoin is here to stay. Crypto is the future. Web3 is the future. Metaverse is the future. And all that thing is presented in front of us with the lifetime of an opportunity at such a low cost. Again, guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please ensure that you hit the subscribe button. This channel is everything about how do we grow your finances. The goal of this channel is to provide financial freedom to all of our subscribers. If you believe that we deserved far more subscribers, please share the video. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Comment down below. What do you feel about the Bitcoin trust, the ETF? So much of the things happening. The BlackRock adopting Bitcoin, private spot trust being open, mass adoption happening. I would like to read your take on this. And that's it for the video. And I'll see all of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.